We thought we would jump on and talk about this one topic that came up in a webinar. Why do people feel the need to apologize for their actions contributing to their passing across many readings, whether it's with the same medium or multiple mediums?
This great question came up. So let me summarize the question first, Amy, and then you have a crack at it. So the individual said that their son had transitioned through a car accident. And in different readings, he would apologize and he would say, I'm sorry for not driving better. I'm sorry I didn't drive more safely. And this person was asking why he was repeating that. But they also were saying, doesn't that kind of contradict the idea that we have a pre-planned life, or that we have pre-planning before we come into a lifetime? And I thought you gave a great answer. So in case people didn't see that, what do you think about that?
Well, first off, I feel so grateful that you thought that was a great answer. Okay. Nancy's a tough audience, you all. Nancy's a tough audience. Okay. But here was my answer. And it was a really good question, and putting the two pieces together, because it does sound contradictory, doesn't it? If it's pre-planned and it was a vehicle accident, why did he feel the need to say, I'm sorry that I wasn't driving better? Right? So, yes, of course, that sounds contradictory to us. Well, here was my answer. My answer is this: there has to be someone within the family or friends or loved ones here in the physical world that is feeling that a sense of burden or questioning. Didn't they emphasize enough the necessity for not being distracted while driving? Did they not have give enough consequences if there was an incident before? And that is why the son would be apologizing, was to lift that burden away from that individual. That being said, was that still his time? And I would say the answer is yes, based on my understanding and awareness and what I've been taught, not only from my guides, but also from many people in the spirit world. So both things are true, but they will apologize for us. They want us to not be carrying that guilt, that burden, and they want that lifted away so we can begin to adjust without their physical presence here in a better, healthier manner.
So you've often said to me that spirit communication is efficient.
Yes.
That, they're not going to, it takes enough effort to communicate that they're not going to say unnecessary things. So the fact that this son was repeating this, it sounds like across different readings. So what I'm understanding from what you're saying is whoever needed to hear that message, it didn't sink in. Either they're at the reading and the son was hoping that the sitter would take that message, or the sitter themselves was not taking in what he's saying.
Right. No, that's absolutely correct. And as far as the efficiency with spirit communication, I often like to say they don't use any ifs, ands, or buts. Okay. So you just get a little piece here and a little piece here, and then together somehow you make a coherent sentence that the person you're reading for understands. So it's a very, very interesting and fascinating and process of spirit communication. So, oftentimes that's why there's might be a little miscommunication, not only with you and your loved one with signs, aren't they giving me signs in miscommunication, but also with the medium and the person in the spirit world, because it is so brief, right? So always keep that in mind. And one of the things in this scenario, it's often, and I've heard this from other clients that have been to other mediums, where they've said, They say it exactly the same way every time. And I always thought that was very interesting because forget about the fact that it's great consistency in mediumship, but also very interesting that it is worded the same way every single time, to Nancy's point, until it sinks into that person. Because at some point, almost everyone gets to the point they say, well, I don't need to talk about my transition anymore because all the answers are there. And so in every reading, we don't have to talk about our how we transition. It's known. And why spend time there if the person in the spirit world, we can't force them to speak about what they don't want to speak about anyhow. We can ask, but that doesn't mean that they will always answer. But why stay there? And that's just the part where they left. That's not the whole part of their life that they lived and gave here. That's what they want us to remember and take hold, is the wholeness of them, the good parts of them, not necessarily the troubled times that may have occurred, okay, but the fun times that you may have enjoyed, and what they left behind as their very gift of an individual that they are. That's what they want to be remembered.
I felt like you read my mind, because I was thinking that the flip side of the repeated statement is how they will not repeat.
Right.
And so with respect to the transition, not repeating about a transition, it occurs to me that why would they talk about a transition in the first place? Well, one, it can be very helpful evidentially, depending on if there's something about the way that they passed, and also that may be fresh in the sitter's mind. So there might be something there that would really help the sitter identify, oh, that's definitely my person. Number one. Or number two, that there were some questions about the way the individual passed. The sitter has some kind of question, perhaps like, did my loved one know I was there on her last day? You know, is my loved one aware that I did XYZ or what have you? So in both cases, there's again, this idea, there's a reason for what they say. And so if the reason of identifying has been taken care of, and the reason for answering any questions has been taken care of, yeah, why would they keep reiterating about that part of their life when there's so much more?
Well, think about it. I mean, we are not 2D people. We're not cardboard cutouts. We have very complicated lives. There's so many aspects to each and every one of us. And what is fun, if you do a reading for the same person, over time, you might get to know their loved ones when you're a medium, right? And sometimes you go, oh my gosh, like I already know so many things. And what do you do in that situation? Then I'll say, I need you to bring something new today, and definitely talk about what you're witnessing now here in the physical world. But I need you to come with something new that I don't know, that I've never heard before. And whammo, we have a whole new story that has been shared. And it's just amazing. So keep that part in mind too. Your loved one they're their whole person in the spirit world without the challenges that they had here in the physical world. And that is the best part. So you're going to get the best of them. You're going to get the best of them. And they are absolutely being loved as they are. So, I mean, you can't ask for much better than that.
Nope, you can't. This is a great topic. Did you have anything you wanted to add?
I don't think so. I think that was a good start, unless, look, subscribe so you get to know when we're going to be doing these webinars, so you can perhaps join them. We'll be doing some on YouTube, but we also do them through Zoom. But if there's something that you have a question about, perhaps put it in the comments, and maybe we'll do a webinar on your question.
Yeah,
right?
we're always looking for ideas, what people want to know.
Yeah, these are for you all. We love doing that. We love doing them. Okay. Clearly, you can see we love doing them, but they're for you. So if you have a question that is generalized that you think, I really want to know about this, but not so specific that it has to be answered in a reading, then put it in the comments below. All right. So we look forward to getting more videos for you guys out there. In the meantime, take good care of yourselves.